guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video because it's not a catching video. Oh, let's talk about health insurance or life insurance. That's not one of those things that make you go, yeah, let's click that. This is definitely not clickbait. I'm not a professional. I don't know everything. All I'm about to do is share my testimony with you of what happened to me. And in any shape or form, you listening to my testimony can help prevent you from going through what we're going through. Or if you went through what we went through and it can make you feel less alone, then that is the whole point of this whole vlog. On December 11th, I believe, J-Raw ruptured his patella tendon. His patella tendon is the tendons in the bottom of your kneecap. So basically, your kneecaps here. There's some tendons down here from what the doctor explained to us. They popped and his kneecap went back up into his thigh. So what they had to do is, because there was no way for it to come back down, they actually had to do surgery. They did surgery on J-Raw, I believe on December 12th around 2 p.m. I vlogged all of this as it was happening. I'll try to make a playlist or just link the vlogs down below so you can watch, so you can witness what happened. And also it goes in great details because I actually got the doctor saying what happened to him. Now, after the surgery, of course, no, not after the surgery, the day of the surgery, we called his boss and let him know what's going on. His boss called us and said, basically, I don't think J-Raw has short-term disability. He only has long-term disability. And we were stunned and we were freaking out. But the first thing we had to worry about was, of course, him going into surgery, him waking up and being okay. So we kind of tried to put that to the side, but it really made us very scared. So he went into surgery on the 12th. On the 13th, for the most part of that day, we had to let him heal because he did not do great under anesthesia. He suffers from sleep apnea, which we found out about. So when he woke up from that surgery, we spent all that day on the 12th that he was up and most of the next morning just trying to make him remember to breathe because he wasn't getting, they explained it to us, there's a lot of oxygen and CO2. Definitely Google it. You know, sleep apnea is not a joke. So he actually had to put the CPAP machine on. It was ridiculous. But we were constantly trying to remind J-Raw that he had to breathe. So it was a rough time is what I'm basically trying to share. Now getting on to the benefits part. We contacted his the representative for his job, and they told 2015 for the year of 2016, J-Raw only filed for long term, not short term. But when he did it in 2016 for 2017, he did both. So the guy was telling us that starting January 1st of 2017, J-Raw would have long term and short term. So we were thinking, bam, as long as we get to January 2017, we'll be fine. So we didn't worry too much about it once he said that because he didn't explain everything to us, but he did explain that part. So we thought, okay, fine, we're good. J-Raw is a great worker and I'm very lucky for this. He doesn't take time off. So he had the hours to cover him for the rest of December until January. So we thought we would just take his vacation and his sick time, coast off of that, which we did until January, and then January, his short-term disability would kick in, right? That's what we assumed. And when you assume, you know the rest. His sick time runs out. We're talking to the people on the job and they're saying that we need your doctor to send a letter saying when you can return to work. His doctor said he would be 100% healed in 3 months. So as we're talking to the lady, she's saying, yes, because J-Raw didn't have short-term disability in 2016, only had long-term disability, he's not covered. And I'm trying to argue with her. I'm like, no, we talked to the guy. He said that as soon as January 1st happens, we have short-term disability. She said, yes, ma'am, but it's almost like car insurance. You cannot call to get car insurance after you get into a car accident. We are devastated. I mean, my heart dropped. J-Raw has only been out of surgery at this time, not even a month yet. So we're just hitting the month. We're just hitting the month time frame. He has went to his first outside physical therapy. We did have inside physical therapist, but an outside physical therapist. When we go to physical therapy, and mind you, I'm logging all this, guys, so you can see it. I'm not making any of this up. When they're trying to bend his knee, he only has 50% movement that he can actually like bend his knee. It's only 50%. It's not the whole 100. So I'm like, what are we going to do? So she's like, yes, your doctor wrote you out for 3 months and we'll hold your job, but you won't get paid for it. And as you all know, we just moved into this house. So what are we going to do, Lord? What are we going to do? I can tell you this for a fact. Moving into my house, I did not cry. J-Ro popping his tendon, I did not cry. The next day when they told me he couldn't breathe and the eye packs and having him to come home and having to take care of him, Christmases and all this stuff going on, having all this pressure, I did not cry. When I had to write a text message to my family and friends asking them to help us, I wept. When I say I cried like a baby, I cried like a baby. But I thank God so much for killing my ego, because my family came to me and they wrapped their loving arms around me and they supported us. And every person I said, I'm like, hey guys, I'm going to pay you back. This is a loan. This is a loan. Not one person this far has said, Tyne, it's a loan. Everybody's been saying, it's a housewarming gift. You know, we want to be a blessing to you. You know, God is just amazing. That is all I got to say. God is amazing. So I want you guys to understand, if you're at your job, please make sure that you have not only long-term disability, you have short-term disability. It is important. Don't let the ego destroy you, because your ego will destroy you. And don't think, oh, I'm young, nothing can happen to me. Oh, I'm too old, they're not going to give it to me. When it comes to benefits, no. Knowing is half the battle. So I am telling you from experience, make sure that you pay the funds for the long-term and the short-term disability, because you never know what can happen. I lost my cousin LJ in a car accident, which was devastating to my whole family. So I'm talking to my Aunt Curl and my cousin LJ. They went to him at his job, him and his friend, and asked him to sign up for life insurance. Now my cousin LJ at the time, my cousin is very, very young, because I'm only 32. So my cousin is very young. And he turned them down. What do I need? Why am I having this taken out of my check? Life insurance. Not long after, we lose him. We lose him. And because he thought, the ego, don't. Now, it's worth it. It is worth it. Go out. Make sure you have life insurance. Make sure that you have short-term, long-term disability. These are just important as everything else, because when this time comes, what's happening right now, and the reason that I feel the need to make this vlog, is that J-Ro had to go back to work today. Yes, it's light duty, but he's not ready. And this man works. He works every day. And because of a mistake or because of a lack of knowledge, he's not able to take the 3 months that he needs off to heal. And that's unfortunate. But on the other side, we are now smarter and wiser, and when the girls go and they get their jobs, I'll let them know, just like I'm letting you know, and I can share my testimony. I was able to see God's mercy when I did reach out to my family and they came in to be a blessing, and I can't wait to be a blessing to someone else as soon as I can. And it's just a chain reaction. So you watching this video right now, I just hope God touches you and lets you know, do it. Do it. It's important. You are not too old. You are not too young unless they tell you you're too young or too old. But if you have a job and you are working, make sure that you are covered. To head off now to go pick him and the girls up. We were able to pay our rent, so that is hallelujah. We are still here. We're still holding strong. We are still blessed to have this home. We know God has us. anybody that's going through anything, if you have any other information about things that we should be looking out for in policies and any information, make sure that you comment below. Another thing that is really good is AFLAC, and I'm looking into that now. So for instance, if we had AFLAC until J-Rel's disability would have kicked in, for instance, if we had AFLAC and his short-term disability, because you still have to wait for the paperwork to come in, AFLAC would cover him until his short-term disability. So we would have never missed a paycheck. We would have never missed any money. All of these things are so important. It's so important, especially if you have a family, and just important, period. Because if you're working, have it. And insurance is so important. Let me tell you guys, this is not the 100, we got a bill. Now this is not the final bill, but for J-Rel's surgery, that just a freak accident, he couldn't go home and heal and just sit down. He had to have the surgery, stand in the hospital, $14,000. I told FloJo, I said, if you wouldn't have done this, we could have got a car. $14,000 and some, and I'm not even telling you to change or the whatever, but I just saw 1-4 and I was like, oh my goodness. So, and then another thing is that, you know, had to take into consideration when we went to his doctor's appointments, copay. Every time he goes to the physical therapist, a $30 copay. Like, it's real. You got to know. You got to know your benefits. You got to know what you got to have. Like, telling you, knowledge is power, people. So I'm going to go get my family and stop running my mouth. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Put your makeup on, get your nails done, curl your hair, run the